Good evening, everyone. Welcome to yet another webinar. I say yet another webinar, but really the first of its kind regarding Infinii, the new expansion into the real world of DST. So how's everybody doing tonight? Awesome, getting lots of highs and all that wonderful stuff. Beautiful. Well, we actually packed out the webinar as usual about 10 minutes before the webinar began. So very excited to see you all here. We have all sorts of details that you've all been waiting for. And we have some wonderful people on the webinar with us. So you all know Kevin Hokowana, our soft-spoken, retired Chief Master Sergeant from the Air Force. And then we have John Kinnear with us, who's also going to be helping go over a lot of things related to the new compensation plan and the specific rollout of Infinii into the marketplaces out there. So who on this call was at the event, by the way?
Beautiful, look at that. And before we continue, I just got to throw out a disclaimer. I was a Master Sergeant, okay? Master Sergeant, not Chief. I know ranks don't matter, but they matter.
Well, I was just trying to give you a little bit of a boost in your self-esteem.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a couple ranks up. You gave me two rank boosts. I appreciate it.
Two rank boosts.
So this whole time you've been lying to me. Now that we talk about it in a webinar, the truth comes out.
That's right.
You never were a chief. All right, guys. He was just a master sergeant. All right, guys. We're going to give about a minute more for things to settle down a little bit, and then we're going to get going. We're going to show you all the stuff that's happening with Infinii and all that's coming out, the breakdown of how everything behaves and how everything works, and then we're going to go into the specific details of how this build-out is going to happen. You guys will get to see a little bit of a sneak peek of the back office and how things work there, and hopefully you all will be about as excited as we have been this whole time, or at least get as opposed to what you would expect from just a Master Sergeant.
And yes, we are recording this. You guys will get the edited version so that you can share it out there and let people know what you saw.
All right, and while we are getting ready, John, if you would just like to introduce yourself a little bit of your background and what you have achieved so far and what you foresee happening here, that would be awesome. And actually, John was at the event. So John, if you would like to share a little bit of your thoughts of what you saw at the event and what happened there, that would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Hitesh, and welcome everybody. I keep forgetting that there's so many of you that I haven't had an opportunity to meet yet, and very much look forward to that happening. The event was a great experience for me because it was my first exposure to many of you, and it was quite exciting to see all the passion that the field obviously has for these platforms and this business model, and especially DST. It was also really nice to see how supportive members were one of another. It was almost like there's this club called DS Domination that knows some things that the rest of the world doesn't know, and some remarkable things are happening within. And it was really nice to see individuals that perhaps didn't even have a lot of experience with each other, supporting each other during the shopping event, which was statistically a huge success. But of course, being an outsider, I'd never seen anything like that before. I'd never seen an army of shoppers bear down on a business by the busload and essentially buy out all the inventory and then turn around and sell that inventory for about 300 or 400% profit, which I was told was probably what's going to happen. So that's a very unique story in itself. And then of course watching Hitesh, Jason, and Kevin, and the regard with which you obviously hold each of them in was very impressive to me. So I'm certainly looking forward to helping move things to the next stage of the evolution of DS Domination, and as Infinii takes hold. And I'm especially excited to help you in your personal goals to make sure that we can help you make sure those are reached.
Beautiful. All right, guys, just to confirm, you should be able to see my screen at the moment. If you're able to see the back office of DST, if you just want to say, yep, I can see it, that would be great. Awesome. Okay, and then we're going to do something once again that we do every now and then. We're going to do it because we have John on here. Okay, now John comes from the world of, I want to say typical network marketing, but he's not, because he was kind of a standout character in there. He didn't have the typical failures, and he's actually not only very successful, but also sees the same issues in the model as a whole that we've talked about many times. So John is a multiple seven-figure earner from a very well-established network marketing company for about 20 years. It's done extremely well, and has actually done it while creating a very small team over the course of about 3 years or so, and then had that expand over time. So he actually lived out, or is living out, the dream that people typically sell, which is work a few years and then you don't do anything for 15 years or so. So it's a very, very impressive individual that you have on call with you, as somebody who actually knows the insights of all of how this stuff actually happens. So here's actually one of the interesting things that I really want to do for John while he's on here. Who here has made a sale or has made a profit in the last 7 days using just DST without recruiting, by the way? Okay, so just want to clarify, without recruiting, who here has made money in the last 7 days? All right, and John, I would like you to look at the questions box right now and tell me if you've ever seen this in any company ever before.
Wow.
His head's about to explode. This, my friend, is our members. These are our members. This is what they do.
This is your world. This is an everyday occurrence for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're awesome, right? Look at them go. They're amazing.
I thought there was something wrong with my computer for a second. How am I going to close all of these? But they're closing themselves.
So, guys, let me give you a couple of very interesting statistics. Okay, so one of the primary stores that we shopped at was Five Below, which is a store where everything is $5 or less. Okay, a lot of the store is actually less than $5. Our members actually purchased and sold over 10,000 individual SKUs. Over 10,000 individual units were picked up by our members during the shopping trips at the event. Okay, in that process, as you can imagine, the store that we shopped at made more money than all the other stores in the entire country. The manager of the store got a nice corporate bonus. She's over the moon and is actually now starting to do what DST teaches. If you can imagine that, that's kind of out there. And here's what else is going on because of that. We were able to create, obviously, a lot of boost in the local economy with the event, and we had actually talked with the store that all the sales that we generated, 10% of the money would go to a charity. It would actually go to a charity called Band of Parents, which is specifically about finding a cure for a childhood cancer, pediatric cancer. And so we not only generated thousands of dollars for charity, not only generated $1,000 in profit, we generated tremendous boost in the local economy, and we actually had network marketers, very established network marketers, who came over just to see what was going on. They actually came over just to try and figure out if this phenomena was even real, because when a network marketing company holds an event, it's all of their affiliates gathered in a room, everybody cheering each other on, and it's all about trying to sell yourself on the dream that I think many of them know they're really not living. In our case, we had a room full of hundreds and hundreds of people who were doing really well, about 1,000 people actually doing really, really well, buying and selling these real-time products, and less than about 30% of the room was really affiliates. It was really incredible. So in any case, it was a very, very incredible event. It was a success from all angles that you could look at it statistically and whatnot. But like John said, it's just a very, very different feel of what our company is all about, what all of you have all been about, and what you guys have actually done and created in form of this e-commerce sales force.
You know what's amazing, Hitesh, real quick, is that we ran out of SKUs at one point. We ran out of printing labels. We had 9,000, and I thought to myself, there was no way that we ran through that many, and we did. I mean, these guys tore it up. I mean, they came in here and they destroyed it to the point where the store they were like begging for mercy, saying, give us a little bit of time to restock. They had to make a bunch of phone calls. They had to call corporate. They had to get a bunch of things shipped on back in so that they could support us the next day. Our members descended upon that town and just cleaned house. And you guys who were there, you did awesome. You did awesome. They were packing stuff up until 8 a.m. the next day. It was just ridiculous. So good on you guys who were there. Good on you guys for learning that skill, taking that home with you, and being able to use that to help support your families down the road and in the future, and just live the lifestyle that you need. So we're excited about this. Awesome. Go ahead, Hitesh. Yeah. I just had to hop in there because this is exciting stuff, guys.
It might also be worth sharing for those individuals that missed that, and now are really kicking themselves for missing that. Perhaps some of the work that you guys are doing behind the scenes to make sure that that type of event and activity happens more often.
Yes, absolutely. So actually, one of the things I was going to point out is I know there were people who really wanted to be there but couldn't be, and there are people who are wondering, how can I learn that? How can I see that in action? How do I get to observe what happened and learn that and do it locally myself? So the process is very simple. Our members go to a store, we scan the items, we figure out which items are profitable, and we send those profitable items into Amazon and just collect the profits. Okay, it's a very, very straightforward process. There are some nuances to it, however, which you guys need to be familiar with, that you need to understand. So we teach a bit of this in Genesis Easy, but doing it practically is obviously a very different thing. If you already have the event ticket, if you purchase the ticket for the event, then you will be able to get access to that training. We're actually going to put the recording of that in the back office, and you will be able to access it under training. You did not get the ticket, or you just weren't familiar with it, or you didn't know what it was going to be about. Now that you know it's legit and it works, you can actually go to this banner in your back office right here that talks about the Era of Domination Fall IGFS, that stands for Fall Income Generating Activities Festival. You can go on there, you can purchase the ticket, and you will still get access to all of the training. You will still get access to all of the bonuses and so on and so forth. Okay, just wanted to throw that out there for those of you who are wondering. Now, another thing happened at the event, which was very, very interesting and exciting. The first preview of the Infinia digital products was actually put out there in form of the Shopify training course by Sean and Aaron and Chris Groves and the whole group there. And this is actually a very interesting and wonderful thing, because this is exactly what we want to see in an organic community like ours. Okay, our community is not based around people selling each other stuff all the time. It's based around people lifting each other up all the time. So the same process that we use, which is basically drop shipping, you sell an item and then you go and get the item at a cheaper price and pocket the difference. That same concept was actually expanded to another platform called Shopify, and quite honestly, you don't really even need the Shopify part quite as much. You can do this with Bonanza, you can do this with your eBay, you can do this with your Amazon. There are some significant benefits to using Shopify, but there are also some costs with it. You guys can balance it out yourself. But the key part behind that, the really exciting part, is two things. One, the strategy of how to generate profits on it, and the second interesting part is the ability to generate external traffic to your listings or to your items that you're trying to sell. Here's what is so exciting about it. It was announced at the event. Our members started purchasing it, okay, a couple days back, and we are already getting reports of members who are generating profits at this point, who are already profitable at this point. I actually saw a message from somebody today who sent a message asking if we are going to put out some training on outsourcing next, which is actually in that course already, but training about outsourcing because they need to hire people now. It's scaling up so fast. So it's an incredible little course. I call it a little course. It's actually an incredibly efficient course. It's not little. It's very much on target. It's very much on point. And you will see this timer back here. It's available at a discounted price for you all, only for the next 3 days or so. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and purchase that. You're also going to get an email that will link you to a full video about it, where you can watch a whole detailed video. We'll also add the video to the back office here, because we're always a little cautious about what we teach, and we want to make sure it's scalable. We want to make sure it's safe. And now that we see all these incredible results coming in, we can see all the good stuff happening with that. It's available back there for you, and you'll do really, really well with that. So, and that's a whole other.
I tested it out. I went through the course and I tested it out, and I'll tell you what, I already have sales coming through. So it's something that's it's that quick. I went through, I grabbed the course, I checked it out, and I've got sales coming through already. So I was like, this is kind of ridiculous. I've seen other Shopify courses out there. I'm just going to say this real quick. I've seen other Shopify courses out there, and they're confusing. It's very confusing. These guys did a really good job at making this just easy for someone right out the gate to run this course and run this product and get into profit immediately. So, my hat's off to them. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. We have taken Kevin's hat, and next event we'll have a picture of Kevin's hat on these guys' heads instead. Here's what else is very exciting about it. It's beautiful for international members. There is no issue for international users to do so. It's great for people who are just starting out and they have eBay limits. They have limits on eBay, or they have the PayPal holds and so on. You don't have to worry about that stuff anymore either. It's great from all those angles. Here's what else is really great about it. This is also the first, as I said, the preview of the first product out there, which is an Infinii digital product. Now, what does that mean? That basically means it's the first product in the series in the platform called Infinii Digital, which allows members to actually create and launch their own products without having to do a lot of the back-end stuff, without having to create their own websites and track all the buyers and sellers and create their logins and all this stuff. It's the first website that actually allows you, the first platform that allows you to do that very easily and actually gives you real market reach and allows you to interact with your buyers in a very unique fashion. Now, as the first time most of you are hearing about it, because if you were not at the event, you didn't hear about it, we didn't really pitch it, it wasn't really pushed very hard. The biggest launches that happen today in the digital space, that happen on ClickBank, that happen on JVZoo and so on, they're ecstatic if they do 6 figures and grow sales in a matter of 7 days. Who here would be really excited if you sold 6 figures worth of your digital course in 7 days? Who thinks that would be pretty exciting? Awesome. Look at all those people really excited. Now, here's the thing, guys. We so far haven't even promoted the product, right? We haven't really pushed it out very hard. And this product has already done better than 99.9% of products that are launched out there. In its first 3 days, it has gone well past 6 figures, which is a great testament to the reach and the functionality of the Infinii digital platform as well. And this is just with our beta structure for it, just in a very small time period. So basically the idea is this. These guys went out there. Sean, Aaron, David, and Chris went out there. They figured out the strategy. They created a really good course about it. They basically came out there and put it together. They brought it to us. And we said, all right, let's put it back there. And now they have generated 6 figures in sales on the course, while also making 6 figures on doing this on Shopify. And they made 6 figures plus selling and using DST at the same time. So that is just an incredible new method, an incredible new facet of online marketing that we have just entered into. So you have all of the stuff that we are now doing at the same time. You have selling on eBay and Amazon. Okay, so you got e-commerce with physical products, and we are doing quite well with that. Our members did something like $2 billion in there, so I think we're doing okay. I think that's fair to say that our members are pretty awesome and absolutely rock. So we have $2 billion in sales that were done over there. We just did our first beta test of Infinii Digital, and that just basically outdid 99.9% of products out there in the digital marketing world, in the digital products world with videos and courses and so on. By the way, this is also a $68 billion industry out there, okay? So out of this little piece, which is $68 billion worth, our first beta test outdid 99.9% of the products out there, and we're not done. We're not even done with the week yet. It's really, really incredible. It's so satisfying to see that this concept of building out something and growing it and making it bigger and allowing everybody to participate in that is actually working the way that we want it to work. Okay? So who here thinks that that would be something that they would love to add to their income in the next, let's say, 2 months? Beautiful. So exciting. You know, one of the things I really appreciate about our member base is that you guys are action takers. You guys are not like, okay, that sounds good. How can I get a better position? Or how much money can I put into this? Your question, your thing is, yes, I want to do it. So let's talk about this. What exactly is Infinii? Okay. Now, all of you have actually been participants of Infinii this whole time, but you haven't known it. Okay. Infinii is basically the system which is a platform to publish platforms. It's like this science-fi dream of, you know, robots create robots and there's robots create products and blah, blah. It's really the digital version of that. It's a marketplace that covers the physical goods, that covers the vendor side of things, that covers the digital products. It covers all of these things at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to show this to you guys with a flowchart. And many of you are familiar with this flowchart. And those of you who are not will hopefully find this very interesting and exciting and will like it. So this right here represents the supply chain. You have a manufacturer, you have a reseller, and you have the marketplace. Okay? Reseller could be called distributor, whatever you want to call it is fine. The manufacturer creates a product for a certain price point. Okay? The reseller distributes it to different marketplaces, whether it be stores, you know, brick and mortar stores, it could be eBay, it could be Amazon, whatever. And from the marketplace, the product goes to the end user. Okay? This is where the customer goes to actually purchase their product. Okay, now all of you are already participating in it. If you made sales on eBay in the last week, you're already participating in it. Somebody created a product, somebody distributed the product, they brought it in, they did all the logistics on it, somebody brought it to the marketplace, in that case it would be eBay, and then a customer bought it from you. And right now, all you do is you collect the profit margin between your source and your sales price, right? That's literally all you're doing right now. Now, Infinii is a process that actually handles all of these pieces internally. It brings the customers, it goes and collects the products from the vendors or the manufacturers, and it also provides a marketplace at the same time. And what's more, it manages all the marketplaces for you. So imagine you were to sell a $200 computer chair, a computer desk chair on eBay or Amazon, whatever. Right now, you would sell it on eBay, you would go source it from Amazon for a lower price, or you'd go source it from another retail store for a lower price. Okay? There is a limit to that activity. As we reach 1 million members, there's going to be a limit to that. There'll be some level of saturation, there'll be some level of efficiency that will begin to break down. Now, here's what Infinii does instead. Infinii says, go ahead and sell your $200 computer chair on eBay to an end customer. That is awesome. But instead of you going to Amazon and then getting that computer chair for $170 and making a $5 profit margin, instead, we will go to the manufacturer of that computer chair. Because we have such tremendous power, I mean, we literally just wrecked a store in Orlando, Florida. Because of the level of power we have on the sales side, we go to the manufacturer or we go to the licensed reseller and we say, listen, our member just sold the chair for $200. We want to get it to them for much cheaper. We don't want them to get it for $170. We want them to get it for $140. We want them to make a much bigger profit margin. We want them to get it for $80, whatever. We are able to negotiate that down. We're able to bring that in. And instead of you selling the item on eBay and then going to a reseller or a retailer, you just go and buy it and source it from within Infinii. That essentially brings the entire supply chain into our ecosystem, allows us to generate a lot more profits for our member, a lot more profits for the company, but then it also becomes the source of a next simple idea. Who on this call right now is selling on Amazon? Beautiful. Okay, John, I just want you to look at this because I would love your feedback on all of this after we're done with this call. All right, so we got at least, I would say, 400 or 500 members selling on Amazon, if not more. That's just me guesstimating based on what I'm seeing here. Imagine this process of selling on Amazon dramatically simplified. Imagine that instead of you going out there and finding a product, okay, this is what you do right now. You find a product, you negotiate a price, you bulk purchase, you handle the logistics of bringing it in, you pack it and get it ready for the shipment, and then you send it to Amazon FBA. And hopefully, if you picked well and you did the rest of the whole process was done well, you generate profits in that process. Okay, now many of you are doing incredibly well with this, which is amazing and awesome. But there was a very simple question as we were going through this process, and as I was actually looking through all of this, one of my very obvious questions was, if we already have contact with the manufacturer and we already have the ability to negotiate with them, I can go to them and say, hey, listen, I represent $400 million worth of buying power. What can we do here? We can get rid of this entire process for our members, and we can literally bring it down to find a product, Amazon FBA, generate profits. Okay, and that is what we call Infinii Springboard. And here's how Springboard works. It's very straightforward. You log into your Infinii back office, you look at the products available there, you choose which products you believe will do really well on Amazon FBA for you. Okay, and those products have different parameters, like some products are available for $10 from our manufacturer and is selling on Amazon for $40. So your profit margin is somewhere around, you're going to make $20 if that item sells on Amazon. So you can actually, instead of going out there and negotiating a price and then having to spend a few $1,000s buying the inventory, you go into the system and you say, oh, I've identified a product that I like, that I want to participate in, but instead of spending $5,000 on it, I'm only going to spend $100 on it. You're basically hedging yourself, you're loading your risk, and you're diversifying. So instead of spending $5,000 on one product and hoping it works, you now spend $500 on 10 products instead. Basically reduces your risk, and we bring the product in, we put it on an Amazon account, and when the product sells, we pass the profits on to you after taking a little bit of fee for ourselves. Does that sound like something that would simplify this whole Amazon thing for you guys? Awesome. See, this is what is there anybody who's confused about this? Because I think this is the easiest thing in the world. I mean, it's so much easier than explaining the whole Amazon process. Awesome. And this is what we call the co-op. This is our Springboard co-ops. Okay, and here's why it's so amazing. International members can do this exactly the same way as US members can. Members who don't have a large amount of upfront money available to do this can do that very easily as well. It just solves so many problems for you guys. It also basically keeps you safer and protects you a little bit more as you go forward. Now, of course, another question that comes up is, okay, how are we going to get all these sales for these products? First point, we choose products that are already selling on Amazon. And instead of going out there and trying to brand products and build products from scratch, we go to the big names out there and say, hey, we see you have a product selling really well. We want to bring your brand name products in. And because we represent a significant amount of sales force, they are willing to let us do that. That's the first part. Okay, that's awesome. The second reason why this is able to do so well is we have the ability to not only negotiate good rates, but also make sure that those are fulfilled. We're able to bring those in, we're able to put them on Amazon. We have a very good team that has done this for a long period of time and have done that very profitably. That makes it very strong. But also, it removes a lot of the risk from our member of what if the product doesn't sell. Because what happens with the products is once we have put them in the co-op, once the co-op has been filled and the product is brought in, we have tens of thousands of people selling on eBay at the same time, and they are selling these products at a significant profit margin too. So they are actually told, hey guys, here are the products you want to list on eBay because these are the products that are selling well. We have already researched them. Go sell them on eBay, and they're sourced from our Amazon listings instead. So we have now completed that whole chain that we had set out to complete way back. We own the marketplace, and when we don't own the marketplace, we facilitate the marketplace in case of Amazon or eBay. We own the product that's coming from the manufacturer. We own the reselling process along the way. We are the resellers of the product. And what's better is all the traffic that is being sent to the marketplace is also coming internally from our system. It's coming from our eBay sellers, it's coming from our Bonanza sellers, it's coming from our Shopify sellers. Basically, this entire supply chain now exists within our ecosystem. Does anybody think that that's kind of a game changer in not just the way the DSD behaves, but also in the way that any company out there behaves right now? This is a pretty unique concept. There are very few companies doing this right now. And nobody who is doing this right now with the numbers that we're doing, at the scale that we're doing it, and with the ease of use that we're doing it with. Awesome. Okay, so what does this all have to do with you though? At the end of the day, what do you get and how do you take advantage of this whole process and how do you make this stronger? How do you participate in it? Here's how. One of the things that we recognized about DSD as a pretty exciting thing out there, but at the same time we recognized there was one point of failure, which was how do we reward somebody for referring a user who generates a tremendous income from this, right? The affiliate program, the way it is right now, really does not properly reward members when they refer a user who actually participates in this and does really well with it, right? Now, because we are doing all of this within our ecosystem, we have the ability to reward it. We actually have a chance to reward you. So who here on this call right now has referred at least one member in DSD? Who here has referred at least one member? Awesome. Look at that. Beautiful. So all of you who referred a member, if your member sold this $200 computer chair, you would actually now earn some business volume for this. You would actually earn some points for this. Points that would directly then convert into your income in the new compensation plan that Infineon has. Okay, so it just completely changes the equation of how things are done. You're no longer just thinking about how do I get as many people in as possible. You're thinking about how do I bring in the people who are going to work this, who are going to work hard at this, and they're going to generate tremendous, tremendous income. Let me give you guys a very interesting statistic. Of our Amazon sellers, about 38% of them generate between 10,000 and 100,000 in sales every year. Okay, that's a very strong number. That's a very, very strong number. I don't think there's a company out there. John, do you know of a network marketing company that would say, we have our subset of users generate that income per annum, to generate that much in sales per annum without recruitment? You would never find one. Okay, this is just Amazon seller.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, these members, when they're doing this, would now contribute, because they're part of this entire ecosystem, would contribute to your BB. If you referred a member like that who was generating sales like that, you would now actually get some BB from it. By the way, we have another 22% that are generating between 100K and 200K per month, per year in sales, not month, per month, per year in sales. Obviously, we also have members who are doing more than that per month in sales, but it's a very, very strong number. And now you actually get to be rewarded on that entire process. Okay, so that's what we're going to go over with Infineon a little bit, and how this new compensation structure works. And because we now have a true ecosystem, instead of just a pipe dream of saying, hey guys, go out there and recruit and someday you'll make money, which I don't know how John managed to do it and make money with it, but for some reason he was able to. What we have now is the idea, if you go out and build a team, and you actually do what you've been doing the whole time, if you're making sales on Amazon, if you're making sales on eBay, if you're sourcing products, if you're buying products, you're doing all of these things that you do together already anyway, if you just keep doing that, you actually have a chance, a shot at real retirement, at real ability to say, oh, I can actually step away from my business for a while and still keep earning from it. So does anybody like the prospect of 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, or a year from now, being able to really take the, pedal off the gas and say, all right, it's time, I can actually relax a little bit. I can take some time off with my family, or if you're in a situation like I am sometimes, oh, I need to go take care of something with my family, I must leave, that you guys would actually be able to do so. Beautiful. Now remember one more thing. Remember the whole thing I said about Infinity Digital and what's happening with the digital side of things? That is counted in here as well. If you create products and you launch products and people are buying your products, or we generate sales for you, whatever way it goes, again, all of that generates BV in the system as well. So anybody here who wants to create and sell digital products, anybody here who wants to buy and sell physical products at a profit, anybody here who has a referral source, who has product manufacturers that they want to refer into the system, all of you now contribute to the BV. So what I would like to do really quick is change gears. I'd like to have John come in here. John, if you could walk us through the compensation plan and some of the unique twists in there that allow our members to really succeed now. That would be, I think, very heartily appreciated by everyone. So I'm going to pass the screen on to you.
Thank you very much. I've got the new deck up right now, so we'll make that full screen. I'm ready anytime.
Alrighty, then you are the presenter.
Please let me know when you can see this.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so I'll blast through this fairly quickly because we're going to have a copy that's available for everybody. In addition to this, Hitesh is going to put this in a very specialized version on a dedicated site for you to access anytime you want. And then likewise, if you are in a situation where you are either not interested in grabbing local Wi-Fi or just can't do that, we'll also have a PDF version for you to throw on your telephones and your tablets. So it'll be very easy to access this information anytime you want, wherever you want. In addition to that, we will also have Ken and maybe one or two others walk through this plan in a very detailed fashion and have that recorded for you, so you can go back and use that as a bit of a guide, really understanding the intricacies of the mathematics of this plan. And so let's dive right into this. There's 7 unique ways to earn. Now we're just talking about the compensation plan exclusively. We're actually calling it a rewards plan. You'll hear that terminology used quite often. So if you want to be consistent, just refer to it as the Infinity Rewards Plan. And the plan essentially breaks down into 2 basic components. And the first is what we call either a dual team or a binary. The prefix bi simply means 2. So you can see in this case, obviously on the left-hand side of your screen, there's yourself, and you have a left side and a right side to your business. And as that business starts to grow out, for example, if you were just looking at a binary view, you wouldn't really know if you personally sponsored all 4, Mark, Beth, Susan, and Ryan. However, when you look at the second way you're going to earn within this plan on the unilevel, you can see that all 4 of those individuals are on your very first level, and you did indeed personally enroll all 4 of them into the Infinity business program. So from there, there's just a slide that helps you differentiate this, what makes this particular plan unique compared to many compensation plans within the global network marketing industry. Perhaps for many of you as affiliate marketers or e-commerce experts, you haven't spent a lot of time in the network marketing world. Just a very, very simple crash course. Of course, old companies like Amway, Avon, Herbalife, and Shaklee have been around for an awful long time. And the industry has evolved a little bit since that time as far as the efficiency with which people pay, but the basic strategies and the science of the industry hasn't really evolved a whole heck of a lot. And you get you'll probably get the gist of that when you listen to Kevin and Hitesh talk. It is a little bit of a dinosaur that really does need a bit of house cleaning. And the changes that are made to this particular rewards plan are designed to help do that. You can see the little red line underneath the 20,000 BV on the left-hand side of your business. So if this was yours and you were in a typical binary-based network marketing program, that red line would indicate the maximum with which you're earning in that plan. So obviously 20,000 business volume on the left side of your business and 20,000 business volume on the right side of your business, which means there's 205,000 business volume that, of course, the company would say you're going to get eventually when you balance your business out. But at this particular point in time, you have no access to it and you get no benefit from it. Now, what's going to be different about this particular plan is
put that in layman's term. Can you put that in layman's term? To simply say this, most companies scam you when they sell you this dream, where what they say is, I mean, it's true. What they'll say is, hey guys, we're going to make all this money in this really, really awesome binary plan of some sort, or dual team plan. Dual team is actually the more PC version of binary. And the reality is it doesn't actually work that way because there are all sorts of hidden loopholes in there. But it does create really strong growth. It does create a very strong incentive. So our idea is, how can we take that incentive and provide that incentive, but remove the loopholes that allow these companies to really kind of scam people out of their money? And that's just the, that's the layman's version of it. Usually I don't get to be the layman's version. Usually people have to interrupt me and be like, so, to explain what the Indian robot speak just said, and then they give their human version of it. But I get to tell you guys, basically we're removing the loopholes from this entire process. Most of you, the way you've already been building your business in DSD, when it comes to the affiliate side, if you just did what you were doing already, you will see, like, again, this is based on my tests, based on my models, you will see about 3 to 5 times the income from this model than you would have seen in the existing pure DSD model. Just because of the way that the BB is calculated, just because of the fact that you have an unlimited depth here, and because of the fact that we give you the incentive of a dual team structure or a binary structure where you have unlimited depth and you earn at unlimited depth, but we removed all the loopholes that get people, that basically force people to lose.
That's you repeating a second time, Hitesh. If you did nothing other than what you're already doing right now, you would receive an increase in earnings through this rewards plan between 300% and 500%. Now, the reason that is so important is that the individuals that are part of your existing business are also going to receive an increase between 300% and 500%. And it would be fair to assume that there's a certain percent of individuals within your business right now where that is going to drive some behavior. That's going to drive them to get out and actually be more actively involved in the rewards plan, which is going to do what to your business? It's going to blow it up in a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Keep going, sorry.
Okay, no, it's no trouble at all. Your PET, you can see in the center of the screen, PET is an acronym for Personal Enrollment Tree. And essentially what this means is, in the past slide, you saw Susan and you saw Ryan, Beth, and Mark. Well, those 4 individuals would represent the foundation of your personal enrollment tree because you sponsored all 4 of them. Now, as they continue to build out their business, all of that new growth, all of that new activity, and all those new members are part of your PET, okay? So this is how we're calculating rank. And the reason that this is a little bit different is it really makes no difference to you whether those individuals are on the left side of your business or on the right side of your business. You have an opportunity to receive benefit from all of that. So the $225,000 through our multiple bonuses, you can get paid on that even though you only have 20,000 volume on the other side of your business. The other thing that's important for you to understand is there's a 1-to-1 point-to-dollar ratio. So the math is very, very simple to work out and to continue to follow in this plan. So how business volume accrues in your business, there's 3 significant ways, but then there's a 4th as well that I'll share with you in just a moment. So if you take a look at Pam, for example, her team now consists of Sue and Mark, which you met earlier. Sue is a Surge member using the Surge platform, which we'll learn more about very, very soon. And she's generating 150 BV into Pam's business. Mark's generating 400 in Pam's business. In addition to that, though, any sort of e-commerce activities, any sort of retail activities, any marketplace activities, in addition to that, any customer activities doing any of these things will also generate volume for you. So as you learn more about the marketplace, as you learn more about the digital marketplace, and as you continue to learn more about how the vendors can get involved in this program, and then how the vendors can even start pulling their customers into using the marketplace, there are some very unique strategies that I know you haven't heard of all of them yet, but you're going to be extraordinarily excited when you do, because there's going to be an awful lot of elements that attract customers to this platform as well, and all of that activity is going to drive business into your, or volume into your business. Anything you want to share, Hitesh?
Yeah, actually, let me do a very quick experiment right now. Because one of the questions, as we've been discussing this over time, one of the questions that John has asked and other people have asked is, well, we just don't know what that business volume looks like. Because in every MLM, okay, if they have a BB system, the BB is literally, how many people you recruit. It's kind of based on that. And we've talked a lot about how our system is unique. Our model is very different. So here's what I would like you guys to do. Just take a rough estimate of how much you've done in sales over the last month, every single one of you. Okay, so imagine you've done, $1,000 in sales over the last month. I know most of you have done a lot more than that. Take 2% of that and just put that figure in the comments section right now. Just say, for example, if you had $1,000 in sales total that you've done, just say 20 BB in the comment box. If you had 10,000 sales, you'd say 200 BB. Just put that BB figure in the chat box right there. John, I would like you to take a look at that.
That's a lot of math we're going to have to do.
Well, it's not just math you have to do. The point is, you can see people in there with 3,000 BB, 4,000 BB. That's 2% of the sales they've done well.
Mm-hmm.
The point here is that this is no longer the model where you recruit somebody and then your business volume is dependent on how much they recruit and how much you recruit and keep recruiting. Because we know that there are a finite number of people in the world at a given point in time. They're relatively increasing, but in general, there's a finite number of people. So if you build a business around the number of people, it's a failing proposition. But something that is not static is the economic output of each person. If you build a business around the economic output of an entire population, now there is no upper cap on it. It can keep expanding endlessly and it can expand infinitely. That's the whole idea behind this whole system. So if you just look at those numbers, yes, go ahead, John.
Especially when the $11 trillion that we talk about as global e-commerce from last year is only representing 1 or 2% of all retail activity. So you add that to the equation, and we're on trend for it's an absolutely remarkable. Well, it's an incredible trend that we're going to continue to be able to capitalize for years and years and years to come.
So the point here is, guys, that you will actually now be able to capitalize on the BB generated in the entire system through this process. And the whole question now is, okay, that sounds great in theory, but how do I first begin to generate profits from the system, right? I mean, hopefully that's the question you all ask. You're all business people now. So the question you should be asking is, okay, that sounds great on paper, and we have, a really nice sounding person from Canada, in this case, John, and a really somewhat shady sounding Indian. How does this actually make me money? What does this really mean? So that's the part we're now getting to. This is specifically what you have to do to actually generate an income. Hopefully I don't sound shady.
So I'm going to share.
But if I do, I'll just...
Go ahead. Not at all. I'm going to share some insights as to how I generated the multiple seven figures that I did, and continue to in a very passive business myself. It really boiled down to leverage, and there's two types of leverage. You can either leverage yours or other people's money, or you can also leverage yours or other people's time. And that's what I focused on doing when I was building my business. My focus was always to break down my business into its simplest form and teach a very simple but easily replicated business model. And I based that on 5 hours of work every week. People needed to invest in their businesses. And what started to happen is I started to see exponential growth. Now that you've seen Hitesh's example of how easy it is to generate business volume within this platform, really the way that you're going to put your business into overdrive really would be to focus on the exponential growth of leveraging other people's time as well. And what I mean by that is we know that personally, through our activities in the Infinity platform, we can generate business volume. So the only thing better than that is to have tens, hundreds, or thousands of others within your business also generating business volume. So the first step in doing that really is something that's called a beginner bonus, and we'll get into the details of these in just about 30 seconds. Beginner bonus, and then from that point we really want to make sure that by the way, beginner bonus, you qualify for that simply by inviting 2 friends to join you in this rewards plan. And then as we help them do the same, by focusing on very simple elements of this plan, you eventually and quickly become manager bonus qualified, and then if you can do director rank within 90 days, you'll get a $20,000 bonus as well. So let's dive right into what these things are. The Fast Start bonus is very simple. It's very typical in a multi-level style program, especially a newer program, where you're generating a very fast 15% from the platform price that your member first joins when they first sign up. It's simply designed to throw some quick dollars into your pocket right away, then that you can reinvest for a springboard product or something else available in the marketplace or digital platform and so on. Second is the beginner bonus we were just talking about. You can earn up to $1,800. Again, this number is very specific. The average individual in their network marketing career earns between $300, $400, $500 US in their entire network marketing lifetime. So the idea was to create a beginner bonus with one simple requirement. Add an individual to the left side of your business and to the right side of your business and have them maintain one of the 3 platforms that Infinii offers. If you can do just that, then you have an opportunity to earn your entire beginner bonus that ranges all the way up to $1,800 just by doing that. Okay? Now what that does though, it gives you a foundation on which to build. So there becomes a language that's easy not only for you, but then for others to internalize and then start to share. And this is what drives behaviors that are ultimately going to create that exponential growth to your team that you want. So your beginner bonus again happens by referring simply 2 individuals, and then there are 2, there's only one qualifier, 2 friends, but there's 2 caps on this beginner bonus. The first is personal volume cap. In other words, you have the opportunity to earn 1.5 times your total activity, and you just did an experiment there of how much activity you're generating in your business on a monthly basis. Or the other cap is 1.5 times your entire group or PET volume. Now, whichever of those 2 caps is lower is the one that we actually use, and the reason that we're picking the lower cap, of course, is to protect the integrity of the beginner bonus. So the way the bonus works is we're actually taking 5% of all the money that's in the rewards plan. And there's a lot of money in the rewards plan, and that gets pooled. So this is why we call the beginner bonus a pool. That 5% that gets divided amongst the entire number of members that qualify, one on the left and one on the right. So that very simple action starts to create an income source that can continue for you. Now, we've obviously established everyone on the call is an action taker. Believe it or not, and this may come as a surprise to you, there are many people in the network marketing universe that are not action takers. And it's not always because they're lazy, and it's not always because they're inept. Sometimes it's because they're scared. There's a lot of people that in all seriousness, there's a lot of people in the American economy and the Canadian economy and many other economies around the world that are really in trouble. And they really need to do something different. Or they really need to add to their bottom line. But this makes them feel like a fish out of water. The idea of opening their mouth and selling a bottle of vitamins or selling a can of juice to their friends makes them feel extraordinarily uncomfortable. And this is a very significant strategic advantage that you have as an Infinii member, because you are able to represent a product that by product alone has the ability to create profit for the average person. And I'm referring again to the Springboard campaign where individuals can simply purchase a seat in the Springboard and earn accordingly. The only way to match that in network marketing is to buy 10 cans of juice and then to go sell that to people you know, or worse, go sell that to strangers. And 85% of the marketplace is either very uncomfortable in the sales role or just completely disinterested being in the sales role. And you can imagine 85% being a very significant number. There's a lot that one would have to do to fight against those odds to create the kind of results that I was able to create in my network marketing career. In your case, you're able to represent a product that simply by purchasing a seat and being passively involved, you're able to turn a profit. And that's extremely unique in network marketing. So with that, I want to help you understand that if there are individuals that are in network marketing that are very uncomfortable when they first get started or scared of their shadow when they first get started, by simply sponsoring 2 people into the program, one on the left and one on the right, if they did nothing the following month, because they're qualified, the beginner bonus pool would continue to pay them money month after month after month. So it's important for you to understand the beginner bonus is for beginners. Many of you are going to shoot right past that beginner bonus immediately. And that will take you next to the manager bonus. And you can see from these 3 amounts, these mirror the platform amount your business, and that can be up to $50,000 every single week. So the is a very significant part of this rewards plan. So I'm going to show you just really quickly how this dual team works. Hitesh, is there any comments that you have on anything we've discussed in the last 2 minutes?
Yeah, I actually have a couple of comments to try and simplify the process a little bit, because there are a lot of pieces that we're going to talk about here that I think kind of take away from the most simple aspect of it, and I want to focus down on that a little bit. So if we take a brief break from this, just so I can actually clarify this, just so I can make people understand this one part a little bit better. So I'm going to grab the screen for just a second, John. Okay, keep it right where you are, because you're going to continue from there. So guys, can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, beautiful. So any business in the world has 2 components to it. Okay, the first question is always what is offered to the customer. Okay, the end customer, the pure consumer. And then the next question is what is the incentive to bring in more customers, right? Every business in the world has to deal with this. Every business in the world, doesn't matter who they are. That's why they all have some kind of a program like, oh, share about us with 3 people and get our next thing free, or get a $10 haircut for free, or whatever. You know, every salon, every grocery store, everybody has that main question in their mind. How can I incentivize these customers to bring in more? It's the exact same question that we have to. Now, unfortunately, the way MLM works, okay, and that's the dangerous part of MLM. The way MLM companies work is what they offer to customers is the ability to bring in more customers. They basically say, hey, if you refer more customers, we'll give you a bunch of money. That is not a sufficient thing to call a product. It is not a sufficient clause for somebody to do business with you. Okay, so let me put this in the picture of why do we need this compensation plan? Why do we need a rewards plan at all? Why does somebody like John need to sit and talk about it? Well, here's why. So what does Infinii Commerce offer the user? The Infinii Commerce actually provides the user the best platform, and actually the only platform at the moment, to generate an income with physical and digital e-commerce at the same time. Okay, this is a self-enclosed system. You do not need to recruit, you do not need to bring somebody in, you don't need to talk with anybody about it, you don't need to even tell your grandma that you're doing something like this online, okay? And she might not understand that you're on the internet. So you don't need to deal with any of that stuff when you're purely focusing on this. Now comes the second piece. How do we incentivize the affiliate or the partner to actually bring more customers in here? What do you get to actually share this out there? And I'll actually explain this in 2 different pieces. The first piece is the very straightforward answer, which is you generate an income based on the total volume of your team. Whoop-de-doo, that's awesome. What does it do for me as a pure customer? I don't intend on ever recruiting. I don't intend on ever referring members. What will that actually do for me? Why is this important? Here's why. Note that the springboard and the deals that we're able to negotiate and what we're able to do on getting really strong, manufacturer discounts and going to brand names like Marvel or going to brand names like Baby Einstein and so on, and making a deal with them is actually predicated upon how much user base we actually have. When we go to them and say we command 12% of the market, that's a very significant deal. That's a pretty big deal to go to somebody and be able to say that. If we go to them and say we control 1% of the market, yay, okay, come back to us when you're worth something. That's basically what happens. So this is actually equally important for the customers, because we are able to get the strongest deals and offer the most attractive co-ops when we are able to get the best deals, which is dependent on how much user base we actually have. Does that make sense? It's the same reason why Walmart is able to get some really great deals on certain products. They're able to do that because they command significant market share. And they try to offer very strong incentives to bring customers in. Okay? It's the same thing happening over here. Why is it important for you to even try and understand this compensation plan and the pieces in here? It's literally because of this. It's to one, it'll help you generate more income for you, but it actually makes our Springboard co-op stronger. It actually makes the whole Infinia e-commerce system much stronger. And for affiliates themselves, which there are tons of them on this call, for the affiliates on here themselves, you need to ask the question, is it really worth my time to even try to build my business on the partner side, or should I just be focusing on doing e-commerce all the time? In many cases with DST currently, you could just focus on e-commerce and do really well. Our concept is, let's make it so rewarding to build the affiliate side and build the partner side that you're able to do both, that it actually pays you to do both successfully. And the way we have done that is by bringing in the entire ecosystem, the entire activity of your team into the business volume, into generating an income for you. So far of what John was explaining, there are two pieces that I wanted to focus on. One, how quickly does it take you to get to break even? Earlier in DST, which is the highest paying compensation plan of its kind on an affiliate structure, it pays 50% on level 1, it takes you 3 sales before you even break even. In here, we're talking about 2 sales and you get to break even. And those 2 sales alone are sufficient for you to develop a very, very strong income. In many cases, when you scale up your e-commerce business, you will want more than one person to work with anyway. You will want 2 or 3 people, so you can focus on different platforms, you can work together as a team. That's the whole concept here. Just work together with 2 more people as a team. This is not the idea of recruiting a whole lot. And the same concept also applies to the affiliate side. In DST right now, if you want to make a 6-figure income on the affiliate program alone, you will have to recruit 500 or more people. And on Infinia's side, the idea is you should be able to generate that without focusing on recruitment like that, without recruiting 500 people in there. So as you are listening to John describe this, keep in mind that although some terms will sound like typical MLM terms, it's because those incentives are very strong. There is a reason why MLM as an industry still exists, even though it's pretty much a scam in most cases. The reason why it exists is the incentives created are very, very strong. And we have to find a way to capture those incentives. So those terminologies will come in at times, but at the same time, we have to be able to take out all the loopholes and really, really make sure that the partners are making money from it. So John, if you continue now, hopefully people will be looking at it more as, okay, so how do I specifically do this? How does this specifically affect me? And you can kind of address that as you go along.
Certainly. The other thing is that, of course, as we continue to make more and more attractive benefits for customers, you can imagine we start approaching 500,000, 1 million, and more customers into this model. Again, that really helps to support what Hitesh was just sharing with you in regards to why individuals, why corporations would be very excited to work with us. So it really is an important thing to do, and the larger that our ecosystem gets, the more that you benefit regardless of how you choose to participate under the Infinia umbrella. So this model, this very, very simple model, 1 becomes 2 from a binary compensation plan is hugely popular all over the world. Now the reality is it works and it makes money. That said, we've already discussed that specifically, statistically, a very low percentage of people really hit big home runs with this. We talk about the average earning of only $300 to $500. That's obviously not life-changing income. However, the mathematics of it, if you follow them and you use the tools that we're going to provide for you, and you couple with that the fact that now we're able to actually endorse a product that makes you money, that doesn't just cost you money, that's going to be a real game changer for you. So focus on becoming beginner bonus qualified first is critically important. A is because it's very simple. B, because it's very easy to explain, and C, because it's very easy to duplicate. Okay? So you can see in this particular case, even with a very small business, in this case, Pam has become a national manager. She's earning 10% on the lesser side of her business. Remember earlier we said she can earn up to 20%. This is how this happens. So as her business continues to grow, Pam in this case sponsors 2 more people. And as that business continues to grow now in the director family, there's a manager family of ranks, there's a director family of ranks, and then finally there's an ambassador family of ranks. And as she continues to have her business push forward, and her volume continues to increase, now that she's into the ambassador, she's earning 20%. In this case, she's earning almost $50,000 for this particular week from her business. So that leads us to the 5th way that we earn, and this is running parallel to the dual team. And this is the Infinity Pay, where you can generate 5% on all the business generated within your PET or your Unilevel program to unlimited depth. And this is really a game-changing part of the rewards plan. It's very, extremely unusual to see numbers like this, and I'll show you how they work. So you can see in this particular case, there's the 4 people that Pam has personally enrolled into the Infinity program, and then they're enrolling their friends, and teams continue to grow. And of course, what's happening here is Pam is personally sponsoring 4 individuals. There are their names. Sam's entire organization was just under 20,000 business volume times 5%. So Pam is generating $980 for that week from Sam. Similar with Sue's organization, she's generating just over $1,000 for the week from Sue. Mark, again, just over $1,000. And then finally, a little bit less, $600 from the final person that she's personally sponsored. But look what happened over the course of the month. She's generating almost $15,000 from just personally sponsoring 4 individuals, and she's only at the rank of executive director, which would be considered a very much an intermediate rank in this rewards plan. As this continues to blow out, the Infinity Pay can pay up to $240,000 on each personally sponsored line of lineage. And I know that some of you have sponsored 200 and 300 and more people into the DS Domination plan. So it really just boggles the mind to how large one could build this business if they chose to. The 6th way we earn is a global bonus program. There's the director family, and then there's the ambassador family. Here's the best part of this plan, and it speaks really to the generosity of the plan. Of the 4% global bonus program, you're able to access a full 2 or 50% of it at the rank of director. And you'll see in just a moment, the rank of director, again, is a beginner intermediate rank. And the last is the elevation rank bonuses. And that's not a misprint. That's up to $10 million in cumulative individuals that are working hard on their e-commerce platform is going to get you to many of these intermediate ranks. Hitesh, do you want to talk to this slide for a moment?
Sure, absolutely. Okay, well, you know what? John already covered really well all of the different pieces along the way. So I'm just going to focus more on the very last column, because I really want to also then talk about the specifics of what happens on the customer side. And why these are all tied together a little bit. So if you look at the very last column, the elevation achievement column, when you hit the director rank, you basically maintain the rank, and over the course of 2 months, that's that little 2 that you see in the brackets, you basically earn $10,000 over those 2 months. So basically you're getting an extra bonus of $10,000. And if you notice, that's only with the 30,000 points PET. 30,000 in business volume, I actually will show you guys the screenshot that I took when you guys were just telling me what the 2% of your sales was. That's all. If you just look at that, that already totals more than 30,000, just one little sheet. So that's a very, very easy time to hit. The idea was to try and reward people as they truly build their e-commerce business as well. We have a lot of people who in DST got to $20,000, $30,000 a month in income and then said, why do I care? Why do I need to be a part of this anymore? And here you will want to be a part of it because not only do you get to earn these tremendous incomes as a partner, you also are contributing to the Springboard side of things, and you get to get into better deals over time too. Now, when you get to senior director, very straightforward, the same process applies. You now earn $20,000 in extra bonus, and then at executive director, something slightly odd starts happening. You basically have $50,000 that you earn over the course of 12 months, which is great, right? I mean, that alone is an awesome income. But that's the moment that the first type of retirement bonus kicks in, where basically it says, now, if I don't even maintain being an executive director, even if I take my foot off of the gas and I just relax for a while, you will still earn $10,000 a year for the next 2 years. Even if you don't maintain the rank of executive director anymore, even if you don't have 200,000 in PET volume anymore, you will still actually get to earn that over the next 2 years. And you see how it compounds over time. It starts adding up. At the next level, you earn 25,000 in the retirement alongside 150, then you earn 250, and then 40,000 per year, and so on and so forth. And these are all cumulative. What that means is you could actually be earning, you could still be on your $10,000 a year retirement while also beginning your $25,000 a year retirement, and then also beginning your $40,000 a year retirement. And there will be people like that because, I mean, one of the privileged positions that I get is I get to see the statistics of what kind of sales are being generated on both the affiliate side and on the customer side. And because now this represents a combination of the two, it's very easy for us to be able to say there will be a lot of people within the first year who will actually get up to that presidential director or ambassador rank within their first 12 months of running this business. Okay, and again, this is a business. Okay, it's not a scheme. Typically, when there's a scheme, they're like, oh, just recruit 7 on this side and 7 on that side, and you're gonna make $10,000 a week or something ridiculous. No, what we're talking about is focus on building your e-commerce business, work with your team on building your e-commerce business at the same time, and you will naturally begin hitting these PET goals. Your actual aim here is very, very straightforward. Okay, therefore 2 people, and then work with them as a team building an e-commerce business, and that alone will snowball into many of these ranks. And as you keep going, you can see at the global ambassador level, you're looking at $2.5 million in elevation bonus plus $250,000 a year for 10 years, which is better than about 99% of corporate retirement packages out there. And that was kind of the aim. The aim was to reward and provide an incentive to our partners because we foresee ourselves becoming a very, very strong force in the market. Okay, the numbers I was giving you guys earlier. I mean, we went into one store at one event with a small user base, with just a small number of our users, and that store literally did more in sales than the entire chain in all of the country. That's saying something. Okay, there's a very, very significant movement happening, and this is designed to incentivize. Because we know if we incentivize it properly, it'll just go all over the place. So if you've ever been involved in any kind of network marketing company or MLM or whatever it is, the idea is to give you a rewards plan that is as strong or better, and this is better by far on every level. It pays more, it pays faster, it pays very fairly, but most importantly, it actually pays you on true retail activity, on true e-commerce activity, on marketplace activity, on digital product activity, which there is literally nothing out there that actually does that. And that's the whole concept. Move away from, let's recruit everybody and build this chain. And the idea is to actually focus instead on, let's build a team and build an e-commerce business at the same time. And that's how you get to these stages. So here's the action step from this entire comp plan. That's the beauty of it. You can look at all these columns, and you can look at these big numbers, and you get confused, or you get kind of overwhelmed with $500,000 sitting there. Here's the simplicity of it. All you do is refer one on your left, one on your right, and build an e-commerce business with them. And that's it. If you just do that and help them replicate that process, you will automatically begin hitting many of these ranks. If you just repeated that simple strategy 4 times, you'll be a director. If you repeated that 7 times, you'd be an ambassador. And in many cases, you will not need to keep bringing in more people because your e-commerce business will keep growing. And as that keeps growing, your ranks will keep increasing over time very easily. So, John, if you want to close up on this, then I would really want to talk a little bit about what happens at different parts of Infinia and how people participate in it.
Okay, you bet. Well, I'll just say in closing in regards to the rewards plan that leverage works incredibly effectively, and you will see people within Infinii build teams in the tens of thousands. And if you don't believe me, just wait a couple months because it's not going to take long. What we have here is very unique, and there are an awful lot of people in an awful lot of countries that are looking for help, and this is going to be one of the directions that people en masse take. So if you want to participate in the rewards plan in a big way, I don't blame you because a lot of people are going to be doing that. There'll be lots and lots of resources to make sure you get all the support you need.
Beautiful. And then we'll actually put all of this entire structure, this compensation plan, and so on, will be available to you guys. Those of you who actually understand this concept and understand this side of the business, you can grab it, you can run with it, and it'll be awesome, and you'll do great. Now let me talk a little bit more about just the customer side and what happens on the customer basis. Before I do that, if you can just say in the chat, who understood this comp plan and actually realizes how much more you're going to be making with this? Beautiful. So, John, you have been validated. A lot of people absolutely love it. And I say a lot, I mean hundreds of people. And then, of course, we're going to keep clearing this up and making it easy to understand over time, too. But it looks like they don't really need that from what I'm reading in the comments. Anyways, let me talk about a couple of things on the product side and explain exactly what Infinia is and what Infinia offers. Okay, so let me first of all give you guys a kind of a sneak peek at what Infinia looks like. Okay, what the structure of it looks like, and what the back office looks like, and so on. So if you can see my screen, this is a screenshot from the back office. Obviously, I can't show you guys the back office on this call because I know exactly what 900 of 1,000 people are going to do. You're going to go to that URL and you're going to try every password combination you can think of to try and get in. And you will fail doing so. However, I would just much rather avoid that. So basically, Infinia has 3 products in it: Prime, Surge, and Excel. Okay. Now here are some beautiful things about Infinia. First of all, it's very affordable, given all that it offers. Okay, and you're gonna walk over everything that it covers. But the first thing about this is these are not 3 separate products. Excel includes everything in Prime and Surge. Surge includes everything in Prime. So they are literally 3 levels. You don't need to own and maintain 5 or 6 different products to actually get all of the goodies in here. You actually just need one membership, and only choose the membership that actually provides you with the tools and the resources that you actually need. Okay. So right here, I'm actually on the training page for Prime. Okay, and the Prime membership basically covers, and these are monthly by the way, all 3 are. Prime essentially covers basic eBay training. Okay, it's not about going into as much in depth as DST does because you really don't need to, quite honestly. It basically gives you the product that you want to list. It gives you a listing system that you want to list with, and you don't even need a lot of the tracking stuff. It doesn't include a tracking software and things like DST provides. There is no need for an overlap there. They're 2 very separate things. The eBay side allows you to find the products, list the products. We give you which products to list, and because we control those products, you don't really need a whole lot of tracking on them because we control the stock, we control the pricing on it, so you don't have to worry about it too much. At the same time, you also get to go over shopping profits with Amazon, which is the component of Genesis, which is called Genesis Easy, and that's what we do at our events. Okay, so at our event, what we did was a piece of Prime, which was go out, shop for profits, send the products into Amazon. In many cases, you're able to do that just with our marketplace products. You don't need to actually go out and find a whole bunch of products either. You can actually just do it primarily online if you so chose to do as well. And then finally, we have all these other platforms, Bonanza, Shopify, and so on. We give you a few other platforms as well. The idea is that you should be able to come in here, especially even if you're an international member, you should be able to come in here and start generating an income right away. One of the issues that many international people face currently is they come in, it takes them 90 days to really get on eBay, it takes them a while to really get on Amazon if they're ever able to do so. And yes, there are ways for them to get through it, but by and large, it's not a very straightforward process. So this is designed to really simplify the process for our members and bring them in here right away and get them going very, very quickly. Now, the trainings are very, very specific and very to the point, and the total training time here is less than 2 hours compared to the training time of about 10 to 11 hours that currently takes a DST member. On the DST side, you have all of the intricacies and all the details. On the Infinia side, you have all of the very quick action and just get going and start generating some profits. So these are not overlapping sides at all. They're actually very different sides of the same kind of business, but they appeal to two very different audiences, and it's designed for two very different audiences. Now, Surge, on the other hand, takes it to the next level. Surge actually gives you the insider analytics that we collect. It shows you what products are selling well. It shows you what products will be selling well in a month from now. So you can put those listings up early. It tells you what products you should be selling based on your current seller history. It tells you what products are actually your best profitable products, even though they're not selling necessarily as much, and how you can boost sales on that. And it also covers a bunch of traffic strategies for you to boost your income with current listings a whole lot more. Okay, and that's basically what Surge does and what its role is in all of this. And then finally, you have Excel, which covers a lot of things regarding FBA and bringing items in from overseas. It actually gives you all of the simplification in that process, and it gives you access to some automation for it as well, and it gives you access to dropship correctly on Amazon without having to worry about, am I skirting any rules and things like that. Again, if you want the in-depth training on all of these things, you would go to DST, which is a product on Infinia Digital, by the way. So DST is actually one of the products on Infinia Digital, which is a piece of Infinia as a whole. And that's what Excel does. Now, besides this, you see Springboard. And each level of Infinia Commerce gives you access to a different level in Springboard. So Springboard is basically our co-ops where we bring products in bulk, and you guys get to participate in that, and you guys get to choose which products you're going to work with, which products are going to be pushed really hard, and you guys essentially get to bypass a lot of the process of selling things on Amazon yourself, and you just get to enjoy the benefits of it overall. Why the co-ops are so awesome for us as a company is when the products are sold on Amazon, that generates business volume, and it generates certain fees for us as well in the process. Obviously, I'm sure everybody would be happy to pay a slight fee on making that work, and that generates profit for the company, generates profits for every other member as well. So if you refer a user who joins the co-ops, who joins and is participating in the Springboard, as they generate sales on Amazon, as they make an income from Amazon, the affiliate, in this case, also earns some business volume, and it makes for a very, very beautiful ecosystem as a whole. And that's what that's why Springboard is such an awesome flagship product of Infinia as a whole. So you have the co-ops, which are different from Prime, Surge, and Excel. On Prime side, you have co-ops that go anywhere from 50% to 100% profit margins. A product that is selling for $25, we're able to bring it in for about $7 to $8, and then including all the FBA fees, we'll sell it for $15 at the end of the day, and we generate a $10 profit on that. Okay, that's an example of a Prime product. On the Surge product, okay, that's for sale of each product sold on Amazon. So this is not put in $10 and make this much in return. This is put in $10 to get units of that product that you're going to sell on Amazon. Anybody who's selling on Amazon gets exactly what I'm saying. And when those items sell on Amazon, you get to collect that profit difference. So if you're an international seller, you can now do this without needing an Amazon account. You can do this without requiring a corporation in the US. You can do this without a lot of the process along the way. This is exactly the same as you partnering up with somebody in the US and saying, hey, you have the Amazon account, I'll do the research, I'll find the product, but we'll bring the product in together, we list it on your Amazon, and just give me a part of the profits. That's exactly what this process is. That's how it works. It's very, very straightforward for any Amazon seller on the call. Now, the search products have higher profit margins. They have a 100% to 300% profit margin range. Okay, but there's also a little bit more discretion on what products are included there. The idea is to choose products that are selling quickly or have significant volume as well, so that they'll sell quickly and they'll generate a very high sales velocity, or they'll basically sell quickly, and we'll be able to see the profits on our products coming in. We'll be able to see the profits on that fairly quickly. And then finally, on the Excel side, you have very quick selling products. We're looking for products that have a sales rank of less than 10,000, less than 12,000, in that range. As you can imagine, those products are really moving fast. We're looking for branded products instead of generic products, right? So instead of trying to sell, let's say, a random printer, we're going to be trying to actually make a deal with HP and bring in an HP computer or an HP laptop or an HP printer to sell specifically on Amazon. So you can imagine why the sales potential for the Excel products is so much higher. So very low sales rank and very good margins. That's what we're looking for on our Excel products. Now, in addition to that, you have different level of participation available at these co-ops. So let's say that you participate in the Springboard co-op and you're a Prime user. As a Prime user, you get 5 seats. Okay, a seat is very straightforward. Let's imagine a product. Okay, we'll take an example. Let's take a pair of shoes. Okay, so we have a pair of shoes. That was a horrible shoe. Okay, so we have a pair of shoe, and this pair of shoes, let's say, sells on Amazon for $100, and we are able to bring that product in for $30. That'll be our cost from our negotiation with the manufacturer. After all the fees and the FP and this and that, after all of that is said and done, it would sell for somewhere around $58 is, let's say, the net costs to us in this process. So we are left with a profit margin in this case of $42, right? So that's our profit margin. Let's highlight that. That's our profit margin in this particular scenario. Now, what we need to do, the manufacturer says to us, hey, you have to buy 100 pair of these shoes in one shot if you want to get that price, if you want to get the $30 price. So when you log into your back office, it says there are 100 units. Okay, so we have to buy 100 units of this, and we are selling this. We have, let's say, 10 seats available. Okay, 1 seat equals 10 shoes, and therefore 1 seat equals $1,000. On the other hand, we'll have some products where 1 seat costs $5 or 1 seat costs $12 or whatever. It just depends on what is the product, how much is the minimum order quantity, and how many people do we need participating in that to bring the cost down. If any of you have ever participated in a food co-op where you go to a local farmer and you say, hey, we'll buy, our neighborhood is going to buy 1,000 carrots from you, and then we just distribute amongst ourselves, and you get a better price for doing so. This is kind of the same. There are a lot of organic food co-ops, for example. This is the same idea over here. Okay, if you were to take another example, let's say the order quantity was only 10, then we would have 10 seats. In this case, 1 seat would be 1 pair of shoes, and each shoe would be $100 instead. Each seat would be $100. So as a Prime member, you have 5 seats available. You can participate in 5 seats at a given time. Once you purchase a seat, and then the product comes in, the product sells on Amazon, and once it's sold, your seat is basically opened up again, and now you can use it for something else. The reason we do this is because we don't want the entire existence of Infinii to be about people just participating in co-ops all the time. We have to scale that up gradually. We have to do that in a much more relaxed manner, in a realistic manner, and we have to make sure that we have sufficient products and sufficient manufacturers to be able to support a very large number of users at the same time. We want you to use the Springboard aspect to really literally be a springboard to help you start generating profits in your first 90 days while you're also working on your eBay side and your Amazon side and Bonanza and so on. So it's a hopefully a very well thought out system. And at the same time, it now gives an incentive for our affiliates to actually build overseas, to actually attract people to Infineon overseas, to help them come in and help them work with this, and gives them a way to start going, fairly quickly. So let me ask the question, the red question. Does this make sense? Does that hopefully clarify to you guys why the Springboard is so strong? Beautiful. Okay. And then the yeses come in. Very nice. Okay. Now the other question is, where do I fit in with DST on this? If I'm a DST member currently, and let's say that I've paid for a product right now, where does it? It goes nowhere. DST stays as it is. So if we were to draw a full-out chart of where we stand in the whole process, here is where we are. Okay, this is Infineon, and it has a bunch of pieces to it, right? It has over here the commerce side, it has over here the digital side. One of our digital products is essentially DS Domination, and that's actually how we started this out. Way back when DST was first created, it actually came out of a platform that I built that was designed to combine multiple different things together. It was actually designed to combine gaming and network marketing and selling on eBay together into a single platform. That's where it actually came from. So you have a product within the digital marketplace, which is DS Domination, which is our training and software for selling in the e-commerce space on eBay specifically, but eBay and Amazon overall. Okay, the commerce side, what we are talking about here in Infineon Commerce, which we are referring to in the Springboard and Prime Surge and Excel, this whole piece is very different because this is not dealing with just training and software. This is actually dealing with actually handling the supply chain, actually handling the products, actually handling the manufacturers and vendors and bringing all of that in. So it's a very different realm of activity. It's a very different concept of how you actually participate in the supply chain as a whole. So you will be using a lot of your training and using a lot of your stuff from DST to continue growing that business. Obviously, you don't stop doing that. You keep growing that business at the same time. But meanwhile, you start participating in the supply chain as a whole. So let's say you've already built a business using the DST training where you are selling on eBay right now, you're selling on Amazon right now. That's well and good. That's actually wonderful. That's exactly what we want. So here is your business. Okay, let's say this is John's business, John's eBay store. All that he starts doing now is that when John starts selling items on eBay, he will now start sourcing them from Infineon Commerce, or he'll start participating in Infineon Commerce Springboard at the same time in the co-ops, or he will start going to Infineon Commerce, finding what products we have selected as the products that are selling, and he will start listing those in his eBay store instead. So everybody understands that training has a shelf life. There is we know from experience, we literally have probably 100,000 members who came in, who used the training, built a business, but then said, I don't need the training anymore, I'm doing well. This system, by controlling the supply chain as a whole, allows those members to participate for an infinite amount of time. As long as we have the products, as long as we have the supply chain, they'll continue participating with us. And that's the justification, that's the reasoning behind all that we are doing as a company, all that we are doing as, I guess, visionaries of where is the world headed, where is commerce headed as a whole, and how can we monetize that for our existing user base and help us reach this tremendous user base out there that we haven't really reached actively right now. We really just haven't done a very good job of reaching the biggest home business industry out there, which is the MLM space. We've kind of ignored them, and for good reason. We kind of hate the way that industry runs as a whole. But at the same time, it's important for us to reach those people with the right incentives, bring them into this, because this is where almost all of business is headed over the next decade. Okay, so if you are in DST, that's awesome. Keep at it, continue building your business, do not stop. If on the other hand, you are currently kind of in a place where okay, I don't know what else to do here, I don't know how to participate in the supply chain a little bit more, or how do I actually bring in somebody brand new into this, who doesn't understand having an eBay store, how do I go to an international member? All of those issues are resolved by the commerce side. Okay, so let me give you an example of what you guys will start doing here very soon, and you're already doing this. You just don't understand yet that you're doing this. You have the digital side. You're going to buy the Shopify course. Many of you already have. A few hundred of you have already bought it and already started using it, and many of you are already generating sales. That's awesome. So you have the Shopify course, for example. You're going to purchase that, and you're now participating in the digital marketplace. And if you were in Infinii, in the Infinii ecosystem, when you purchase that Shopify course and when you use that Shopify course, that generates certain business volume. When you purchase DST and use DST, that generates certain business volume. When you purchase, for example, the couponing course, which if you guys were not at the event, Michael and Maddie did this awesome presentation. These are guys who are going out there and using very advanced, I shouldn't say very advanced, they're using very basic couponing tricks to buy items, buy $200-300 worth of items for $3 or $4, okay, literally $3 or $4, and selling it on Amazon at full price and just pocketing nearly 100% of it as profit. So you have the couponing course, for example, that will be released with the Infinii Digital Space as well over the next few days, and that will generate BB. And when you sell the items on eBay and Amazon using that, that will generate BB, and so on and so forth. The idea is to develop this entire ecosystem where every activity generates BB, and every activity becomes a way to reward our members, and every activity then helps us decide what's the next big place that we need to go to, what's the next big frontier that we need to get active in, where do we go and talk and negotiate to bring these deals to our members next. That's basically the idea and the concept behind all of this. So who all right now on this call are excited and you're ready to go, you're ready to build with this, and ready to really participate in this as a whole? Beautiful. Any thoughts on this, John, so far?
Sorry, I had muted myself. No, I mean, the artwork, I think that we should consider framing those and then creating a series, and that can be something that can be shown for charity.
I don't know if I'd be able to sell it for charity. We might be able to give it to Goodwill as, I don't know, as Kindle to burn on a cold day.
An interesting abstract to it. No, I mean, this is going to become much easier for everyone to understand as time plays out and they start participating in all of this. But and the only thing they really need to understand is that Infinii, the umbrella, is very, very large, encompasses an awful lot, and is going to take them certainly anywhere that they need to go financially and professionally.
Beautiful. So you say it with such elegance. Like the Indian in me is offended almost. I'm like, sell it, John. No, anyway, I'm kidding. So, guys, obviously this is a lot to take in because this is big picture stuff. Okay, you remember when you first started with DST, you went online and you saw this video and it was about, hey guys, look, you can buy something from Amazon for $10 and sell it on eBay for 20 or for 15, and you can pocket a $2 profit margin. Okay, that's a great idea. That's a great idea, and that's a great beginning step. That is how you begin big visions. Okay, you start with a very simple thing, and that simple thing still remains, but it's become even simpler. You now get to go and participate in that entire process without owning an Amazon account, without owning an eBay account, without necessarily going into all of the issues that you might face when it first comes to developing your e-commerce business. And that's because we now have, over the last 2 years, we have developed enough of a strength that we can go to these suppliers, we can go to these companies, we can go to the major corporations and say, we want to buy out your warehouse. How do we go about it? And they are ecstatic. They're like, oh, here's how you do it. Here's how you participate in the whole thing. So this is the evolution of that simple idea. And keep in mind that simple idea was always designed eventually to go over here. And we all have issues in our lives that sometimes stop us, temporarily at least. And this is what would have happened way back anyway, but now it's even better because e-commerce has grown so dramatically in the last 2 years, and I like to think that DST has something to do with that at the same time. So now you get to participate on the commerce side, on the physical product side, on the digital side. You get to do all these things, and you actually have a rewards plan that if you're an affiliate, you basically don't have to worry about, can I promote this and count on a real income from this? Because now you can. This rewards plan is just absolutely incredible, and I just really wish that everybody takes it to heart and goes with it. So let's talk about the rollout. Okay, what's going to happen? How is this going to be put out there? And how are we going to build this thing? Okay, and I'll come to this image. Remind me about this image of golden people staring at each other and praising and singing songs to each other. We'll come to this in a second. Here's how the rollout is going. I'm going to pause my screen for just a second so I can grab this image. Because once again, I hesitate, knowing the techie people we have on this call, to show the real back office. So this is actually a screenshot from the back office itself. It is essentially showing you your tree. Okay, you're looking at the binary tree, and you can see who is down below in your downline and what are the next free positions available. So you can see that in this particular case, I have some free positions that I clicked on, and I can see it says send an invitation. So what you will do is when you log into your Infinii back office, you're going to look at your downline. You'll be able to click on every free position, and you'll be able to send an invitation to someone. For the first 20 days of Infinii, it is only going to be invitation-based. There will be no affiliate links. There will be no way to promote it with affiliate links, because we want to give everybody the chance to actually share it with their immediate downline and with their immediate friends or family in a very non-threatening, in a very wonderful, non-online marketing way. Okay, so you'll be able to basically send out invitations, structure everything out as you need to. Those of you who are affiliates, and especially those of you who have been in network marketing companies, understand already why this is so critical and why this might be one of the best things possible, because it allows you complete control over the structure of your organization, which, given the rewards plan now, is very, very strong and very, very important in some cases, and could be, the big factor in how much you're able to generate in your sales very quickly. So you would basically click on that. You click on send invitation. It's going to ask you for the name, email, and basic information of the person you want to send the invitation to. They will receive the invitation. You will also receive the invitation code. They will now be able to join Infinii with that invitation code. All of you on this call will receive similar invitation codes from your current upline in DST or from higher up in DST, basically depending on where you are in the entire structure. And at the end of the 20-day period, everybody who is left will receive invitation codes from DST as well. Okay, so you will all get a chance to get in here before the general public gets to go in. You will all get to go in there and look at the co-op products. You all get to decide what you want to do. You kind of get to give us your feedback during the same process, and you will get to send out invitations of your own to everybody as well. Okay, this is just a number from the pressure test that I was running, so you can see we were testing out to make sure it actually worked properly. So here is how this is going to go on the November 10th. Okay, November 9th midnight basically, but November 10th the invitation only phase will begin, and the invitation only phase will last all the way to November 30th midnight. Okay. 1st December, everyone will now have active affiliate links, okay, or active partner links, as we call it in Infinii, and you'll be able to promote it like you promote your DST products or any other product that you have wanted to promote. Same as DST, there is a separate $9.95 a month cost for being an affiliate, and the reason is very straightforward. I've given this reason since the day we started DST. I've said over and over, this is a legal distinction between who is a customer and who is an affiliate. And you guys, if you've paid attention, you've seen some companies out there get in trouble for not doing this. You want a distinction between who is your customer, who is your affiliate. By the way, I'm really, really happy to explain this to you guys. Greater than 76% of our current users are purely customers. Okay? These are people who have never even joined as an affiliate, not people who joined as affiliate and failed, but people who have never ever even joined as an affiliate. Okay, so that is an incredible ratio. Most companies are somewhere like 30% of the user base is customers, and everybody else is an affiliate, because they're all in there to try and sell the dream to each other. And that's not the case with us. That's not what we're doing. We have a very legitimate system, and that's why we want to keep it that way. So $9.95 is per month is the cost for being an affiliate. This is an introductory cost. We are in discussions that might actually go up down the road in the future. But for now, we're going to keep it at that because everybody in DST is used to it, and it'll stay there. Now, I just want to talk about one very simple concept very, very quickly. Is everybody clear about this, about the November 9th to November 30th breakdown? And this gives you guys the time to actually build this out and take your time with everything? Beautiful. Everybody's clear. And you guys will be able to join at whichever level appeals to you. Okay, Prime, Surge, or Excel, you will get to choose which level you want to be on. There is, we're not going to force you either way. It's entirely up to you. Most of what will be in the product side will be available immediately. There will be a few final things like some extra co-ops and some extra things that will be active on December 1st. Okay, but most of you will be getting in because this is an exponential growth phase. So a lot of our members will actually be activating their account somewhere between the 20th and the 30th anyway. So most of you will see everything available pretty quickly. Now let me just talk about one very simple concept. This right here, to me, is the image that comes to mind when I think of an MLM. Okay. Here is what I find very interesting about this. These people are sitting in a closed loop. All of them have only one way of making money, which is from somebody else in this group right here. So all of these guys are really targeting each other to try and get the money from each other. That is the harsh reality. Okay, that's probably a little harsher way to put it than usual. But
maybe that's why I had some. You were trying to understand why I had so much success, Hitesh. I took a slightly different approach, so perhaps that's why I had success.
Exactly, and that's what I was getting at too. That almost nobody in a typical MLM ever succeeds following the typical MLM model. They succeed because they use a model outside of it. Okay, so what's happening here is, and I said this at the event, 90% of these guys are basically losing money, and 10% of them are gaining money. And the companies or other promoters hold these 10% up as the example and say, see how well you can do in MLM, and they kind of try to put the other 90% under the carpet. Here's how the only way in which this model works is if you actually bring in the real world as well. And this group now can work together, but their sales need to be made to the crowd out there. This is where the money should be coming in from, not from each other. So all of your money should really be traveling from the outside world into this closed group. So when we talk about Infinii, we're talking about the Infinii platform selling products on Amazon and eBay and in the Infinii marketplace to the real world customers. And when those real world customers purchase the products that we bring in as a group or as a group that we list on eBay and so on, that's when the real income is generated. So the reason why, when John said everybody was so eager to help each other, everybody wants to work with each other, one of the reasons is you guys are not competing against each other. You're not looking to make money from each other. You're looking to get better results by building a business together and appealing to the world out there. And that's one of the big reasons why we're so eager to scale up this model, to build this model up stronger, and to try and preserve what we have here. So, as before, okay, I'm just going to go over these very quick things. Don't go out there promising things that are not real, even though this is the best thing in the world out there right now. I'm pretty sure of it. You don't go out there promising the world. You don't go out there telling people, hey, get in, you're going to make a bunch of money in your first month or anything like that. It's true that a very significant number of our users do that, and they make money without recruiting in their first month. Many of you do it in the first day. But that is not something that we should be going out there marketing as and promising as, because it really starts to make us look like those companies. Also, during this invitation-only phase, I hope you will all basically respect this, and we have ways to track this down, but I would rather do it in gentleness than force. When you send out invitations to your immediate downline. That is people on your level 1 in your current DST structure. Don't go to other people who are in somebody else's downline. Don't go to other members and say, hey, you want to move under me or whatever. Don't do that. And this is already restricted because you're only given 6 invitation codes until those are used up. So you won't be able to spam people anyway, but I'm just giving you guys a heads up that you shouldn't do so. Either way, if you have the ability to do, you still should do so. And now come the final action steps. We're going to be running this in such a unique fashion. This is such an important, unique growth online in what we've been able to accomplish and what we're going to accomplish here down the road. So we really want to preserve that. We really want to hammer that home. And to that end, we've set up our official Infinii websites, or official Infinii Facebook groups, official Infinii YouTube channel, and so on. Infinii is a trademark. Okay, as you've seen, I almost always type it like that. This is a trademark. You guys should not be using any domain names that have Infinii in it. You should not be using YouTube channels with that in it. You should not be using Facebook groups with that in it. So keep that in mind as you go forward. And with that said, one of the things that I want to do is bring out Kevin, if Kevin, you are ready with the video, and show you guys something, show you guys a summary of what happened at our event, and have you guys go and really participate in it and help bring this out to the world tonight. So Kev, if you are ready with it, would you like to entertain us? You are muted, by the way, Kev.
You got me?
Yep, finally.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to cue this up, and then I'm going to show you guys what you can do with this. So let's go ahead and send me the screen on Hitesh. Well,
you almost said honey. I'm somewhat flattered.
Next time I'll try
to.
Next time I'll try to. I'm sorry if I didn't. All right, can you guys see my screen? Let me know. It should be black.
Yep, but we can see the play bar, so just hit play.
Beautiful. All right, turn your volumes up.
Your sound is muted, though, on the video.
That's okay. Let me grab that. Thank you. Hitesh, you're awesome.
So it wasn't okay.
It's okay now. Here we go, guys.
Alright guys, we are here at the event. The time has come. That's right, the doors just opened. There's a crazy amount of energy. Everybody's excited because the moment has finally arrived. Here with one of the amazing leaders who's been here from the start. We have just hopped off the bus where everybody has been shuttled over.
This store is packed. It's crazy. People are already shopping. If you notice, you ran a cart.
This is the simplest business. I love it, and I'm making a lot of money.
ESD is just going to be a small part of the big umbrella, which is Infinii. And I think it's going to be incredible. What we've done so far has proved that we have something incredibly powerful. And with everything that's coming out right now, there's no limits to where we're going to go. So I'm super excited. I hope you're excited. See you guys inside.
We are here at day 2 of the event. We are about to get underway.
Well, we totally destroyed that store last night, and they were so great to us.
You're going to see an amazing spectacle of what's to come and why this company is so great.
We're here. We're going out to dinner. We're getting treated. VIP treatment. We got the Hummer limos.
What'd you guys think of that? Let me know in the chat. I showed that on a Monopoly webinar. All right, so here's what I want you guys to do. I'm going to give you guys a link. And I would like for you to go hop on this fan page for me. Smash that like button and share it for me. So you guys should have just gotten that in the chat. This is our new Infinii fan page. We just launched this. So you're going to see this all over the place, hopefully, here pretty soon. What I want you guys to do, hop on here, smash this like button right there, toss me a comment, share it on your wall. Make sure you share this. It's probably the most important thing. So we want to get the word out that this page is live and, yeah, get this rocking it out. You guys can watch that a couple more times. I think my favorite part of that was Smooth Alessandro hopping out of the Hummer. That's pretty awesome.
And for those of you who said it was a little choppy when you just watched it, just go watch it on Facebook. It's not choppy at all there, and it is really powerful. Honestly, I mean, all of you who were there, and quite honestly, you know, we are going to do a second video where we actually show you guys what was actually done at the store itself. It just is mind-blowing.
And actually,
right.
Yeah, I can toss that out there. I've got some of that footage that we'll just share it later. I was going to play it again, but we've got some footage we'll be tossing out there. Keep your eye on this page, okay? Because over the next 24, 48 hours, up until the launch and years past the launch of Infinii, you're going to see us adding images, adding, you know, I mean, you can already go down there and see some of the giant checks that we're giving away. There's some cool photos down here. All right, we're already starting to populate this. But this is going to be a regular thing. So keep popping back onto this page. Keep your eye out for it. Make sure you're following it. And, yeah, I think you guys are going to love where this goes. And, again, smash the like button on this thing. Smash the like button. Smash the share button. Leave us a comment. We want to know that you guys were on here, that you're with us in Infinii. And, again, here's the thing to remember. Infinii does not replace DS Domination. I think we made that clear. But I still see some questions about that. Infinii does not replace DS Domination. Infinii has always been here. DS Domination has been under the umbrella of Infinii, and now we're moving in this direction. So you guys get to have best of both worlds moving forward. And for those of you who like to build, who are my affiliate builders out here, my partners that want to rock this thing out? Let me see you guys in here. Denise, I know you're going to rock it out. Look at that. Rodney, what's up, man? See, you guys are going to love this compensation plan. You're going to love everything about it. And you know what's really cool is your members that are in here inside of DS Domination, or those of you future members inside of Infinii that are going to be in this compensation plan. I mean, they can reach the top by getting 2 people, 1 on each side, and helping them build. We don't have that in the current compensation plan. So any of you out there have said, look, my sponsor, he's not around, I can't get in touch with him, I can't talk to my sponsor, I don't know who he is, I can't find him, he's not helping me. You know why? Because the compensation plan wasn't strong enough. So I'm going to apologize. I apologize for that. And I think Hitesh should apologize. You know, on behalf of DS Domination, the compensation plan was not strong enough to have the incentives needed to grow it out to the masses. But here's the reality. Who here on this call, who has had their life changed because they were introduced to this platform? Not that DS Domination changed it. You changed it. But the information here, did that help change your life? Okay. I'm going to let that sit for a minute, and I'm going to let that keep going because I want to see this. I want to scroll through this. This is awesome. Here's my question to you. Everyone who's typing in that chat saying, yes, me, 3 times over, this guy, me, totally, thank you. All these comments you guys are putting in here, do we not owe it to everybody else out there? Do we not owe it to them as a company, as Infinii, as DS Domination, as people? Do we not owe it to them to share this opportunity with them? You have your story. Let's go make some other stories. Let's go help some other people reach their goals too. We're not going to do it with the compensation plan we have in DS Domination. That's been proven. But what we can do it with is the compensation plan that we have in Infinii, because it's going to reward you for doing what we know is the right thing, and that's sharing this opportunity. So I just want to hop out there and let you guys know this is where I'm coming from. Those of you who look at network marketing compensation plans and say, "Ooh, it's a network marketing compensation plan," Hitesh summed this up on stage, and I thought it was beautiful the way he said this. He said, "This is not an MLM company with a e-commerce component to it. This is an e-commerce company with an MLM distribution channel. That is how we're going to get the message out. That is how we're going to be able to build this. That's it." All right, so let's go out there and run this thing, guys. Let's go out there, and in my opinion, those of you who are looking to be partners and build this thing big, you're going to be hearing from me a lot because I'm going to be helping you every step of the way. This is what we need to do in order to get this out to the masses. This is the compensation plan we needed. And at every single turn, every step of the way, when we looked at the comp plan and looked at different places that could be paid out more, you know what Hitesh did? He dug deep. He did pressure tests. The man didn't sleep. He was trying to get it to a point where he can make sure that you guys got the most money out of this compensation plan, period, and that's what we have. No other compensation plan in the industry can touch this. I challenge you to find one. If you find one, send it to me, and I'll tell you why it doesn't touch it, okay? So if, you know what, I see a couple people in here, I'm ready, let's go, let's move. I'm with you, let's move. I'm ready to build this. We're going to get this up and running for you. We're going to give you guys the best platform out there in order to build. We're going to give you guys the best compensation plan to build. This is it. We owe it to people to share this opportunity with them. We owe it to them. And we owe you the income, the compensation plan that will give you the incentives to bring it there. So I'm ready to rock this thing out. Hitesh, you ready to rock this out with me, man? You ready to build this?
I've already been inviting all my robots and all the Indians, so
beautiful, beautiful.
Hey guys, let me just show you guys one thing. Okay, let me just show you one thing because I think a lot of people get stuck in this idea of, oh, you know, this is cool, but I don't know if anybody else is excited about it or what. Okay, this is just what I captured. I actually missed about 30 in the beginning. This is what I just captured in about just under 2 minutes of these comments coming in, okay? This is all the people who are ready to go. This is all the people right now who are ready to go, and this is just in a minute and a half, okay? I missed a bunch of them before, I missed a bunch of them after. Doesn't matter, I think it makes the point. The point is, we have the only thing that actually works. We have the only company that we don't have to pretend about, we don't have to fake it till you make it, we don't have to do any of that ridiculous crazy stuff that people do out on there to try and make money, to try and recruit people to do something. You actually have something super strong, super legitimate. You actually were there. Hundreds of you were there, and you saw us go in, take a store, and completely, I mean, the managers couldn't understand what was happening. We got calls from the corporate side trying to figure out what was happening. They want to work with us directly and all this stuff, because they literally have never seen anything like this. You know why they haven't seen anything like this? Because it doesn't exist. There is nobody like this that exists. You guys are a very, very unique bunch. You guys are a very unique group of people. And you guys really need to be going out there and channeling all that energy you have and all the stories that you have created already. You need to go out there and really take that to the next level. So the compensation plan will make that happen for you. The Springboard will make that happen for you. The new marketplace is going to make that happen for you. The digital side will make that happen for you. But at the end of the day, you are the one who actually has to push the buttons. You are the one who actually has to push down the pedal, and you are the one who actually has to go and say kind of a little bit about yourself. Okay, I'm a background guy. I like being in the background. I know many of you are the same way. You like being in the background, but you really, really have to. I mean, this is one of the things that I've learned over time. You really kind of have to come out at times and share a little bit more if you want to have a real impact out there. If you really want to have people's life be changed, your own life be changed a little bit. So, you know, I'm as excited as Kevin. Probably more because I am just a more excitable person inside, and Kevin is a military guy and just has no regard for excitement whatsoever. So I'm sure you guys can tell that's not true. He's super excited. We are all extremely excited. John is very excited, and I'm sure John is really excited because it's the first time he has seen a model like this, a model where is actually successful. We have people on this call who are just ready to go. They're just ready to go. They are already generating an income, And I'm pretty excited to see how John and Ken and everybody else who's coming in, how they actually handle this.
Nitesh?
Because this will be a unique experience for everyone.
Nitesh?
Yep.
As I was discussing the rewards plan with everybody, I had mentioned one of the things that has me excited, and that is a network marketing product that generates income that doesn't cost you money. And maybe there's a number of people that they're a little bit confused by that, or that full magnitude of that hasn't sunk in yet. But it will, as you roll out into the field, and as you start the field, meaning the world, and as you start talking to people that have been involved, that have tried to build a network marketing business before, they got involved with this type of a health product or that type of weight loss drink, and you get absolutely hammered because your friends are saying to you, well, why is this any better than anything that Dr. Oz mentions on his TV show? And the difference between having to be product focused and selling a product to somebody that they think they don't need, or they think they have a better version in their fridge, you're not going to do any of those things. So it's just important, and I'll remind you from time to time just how lucky you are that you're walking into a situation that literally has the most difficult challenge in network marketing already dealt with. And Kevin, you have plenty of experience as well.
Oh, yeah.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you got to get. Oh yeah, there's guys, and for those of you who don't recognize these voices too much, we got Ken Eggleston on here too. I'd love for him to come out and say something before we wrap this thing up. This is John Kinnear. You're going to be hearing a lot from him, okay? And he's going to be guiding you guys and helping you guys out along the way as we navigate through this stuff. If you've never done this before, right? But you should, Hitesh, I grabbed the screen back real quick because I want to do one thing while I've got everyone here. And I need everyone's help for this. Okay, I want to do one quick thing on this Infinii, this new fan page, to kind of christen it, to break it into the world, to let everybody know what we're here, that we are here, and what we are doing. And so I'm going to pop in this. Okay, who has? Let's go like this. Who has made? We're good. Have you made income with the concepts, tools, and training in the Infinii platform? Keep in mind, Infinii platform, DS Domination is a part of that, falls under that. So I'm going to publish this question, and I want you guys to pop in there and let me know. Let me know if you have. Let me know how you're doing with it. All right? Show the world what we have here, because this is going to come out and it's going to take the entire world by storm. Not because of just the training, the tools, the platform. Not just because of the springboards. Not just because of that. It's going to take shape and it's going to form because of the things that you guys do now. You guys are in at the beginning of something very special. We've seen this play out in DS Domination. We just didn't have the compensation plan in there to take this to where it needed to be, and that's helping change as many lives as humanly possible. So hop on here and just let everyone know you're alive, you're kicking, that you're in here and that you're ready to build this thing and you're ready to rock this thing out, because I'm ready. And I know that, look at this, here we go, we already got people popping in here. This is beautiful. This is what I want to see, because it's one thing for me to see a chat and for us to say, John, check this chat out, it's amazing, and get to see how awesome you guys are. It's another thing to just show the world. So I want to do that real quick. And
tag your friends, tag your upline DC, tag the person who has helped you, tag who has been a part of your journey so far. Because this, one of the pieces of this that really makes it work is the fact that we're all doing it together. Nothing highlights this better than the co-op. The co-op exists because we are all doing it together. Without it, we don't really have something. So, yeah, this is so exciting. Just looking at this.
Isn't it? I mean, and you guys are awesome. I mean, we always talk about this, and Hitesh is one of the biggest things. Hitesh, I think he said this to me probably 10 times now, is that your impact on our lives, not money aside, the gratitude and the humbleness that you guys show us every day, it's all inspiring. And I remember we were talking, we had a closed door conversation. I'm gonna say one thing that Hitesh that put out there, and because it expresses my sentiments. He said, look, for a lot of people, this might not have been the most profitable business. We're talking about the compensation plan in DS, right? Not the most profitable compensation plan, but it's the most gratifying. you get more out of it than you ever will in anything else. And now all we get to do is tack on a compensation plan to this that is going to help you guys even more. I mean, that feeling that you get when you help somebody make their first sale, that feeling that you get when you made your first sale, when you had your first income come in, you know, seeing your team members go out there and do stuff like this, right, and generate an income, that feeling you get when you, those chills when you get when you see that, that is what has made this whole journey up until now worthwhile for all of us. And now we get to give you the compensation plan that you absolutely deserve. So I'm excited. I'm going to shut up for a minute because I'm getting goosebumps on this stuff.
By the way, you'll know when the bug has bitten you if you're having a tough time sleeping. That's how you'll know when you're understanding the rewards plan, by the way, is all of a sudden how this money gets paid out in the mathematics of the plan. All of a sudden you can't sleep because you're just running numbers in your head. That's when you know that you're starting to internalize the plan. And listen, I know you invited Ken to pop up. Ken, if you're within earshot, can you just maybe say hi for a second? If he's not, if he's busy working, and he very well may be, you'll have an opportunity to meet Ken plenty in the future.
I'm here. I've enjoyed just listening to you guys. Sometimes it's nice to just sit as a member of the audience. You and Hitesh did an unbelievable job with doing the full presentation. And you know, for those of you that think my voice sounds a little strange, yes, somebody did give me the flu in Orlando at the convention, so I've enjoyed a couple of days of fighting that off. But I got to tell you, man, just watching this tonight, and then knowing the power of this plan, and knowing there's literally nothing within the industry, any company that can match the tangible quality of the training and the products along with the rewards plans. It's not a question of how big this is going to get. The question is, how big is your team going to get, and how broadly and how many people are you going to help out with this? Because there's a significant problem in the network marketing industry right now. And for those of you that follow case law and everything else, you've seen Vima, you've seen other ones that, you know, at best, as Hitesh mentioned, have a 30% customer ratio. Many of those companies only have 10 to 15% if their books are audited. And, you know, under the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission laws, you have to have at least 50% of your customer base. And, you know, the network marketers that are out there that are smart know that they want to build something for the long term that can't get shut down. And this would be the FTC's benchmark for what a network marketing company should strive to attain, you know, with regards to a customer base. And that's why you see Kevin Thompson. That's why you see a number of the other leaders that are coming here. And you're going to see leaders, you know, publicly come out as to move into Infinii here over the course of the next coming weeks and months that are going to create a secondary wave within network marketing. But the more important thing, all of you are here first, and you have the ability to cast your nets out and gather as many people as you can. So just looking forward to it, and once again, guys, great job tonight.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. That's awesome. Hey, guys, and do me a favor, too. Make sure you're sharing this post right here. This is a powerful post. I mean, you've got hundreds of people coming out and saying that this is this concepts, the training, the tools, and what they're learning in Infinii, what Infinii represents, has changed their lives already. So share this stuff on your Facebook wall. Share button, right, and just toss it on your Facebook wall, just like I did right there, really quick. And then people get to see this stuff and track back to it and see what we're doing here, and they'll come back and wonder what you're doing. Right, because I mean, you guys are obviously doing some amazing stuff. So, Hitesh, I'm gonna kick this screen back over to you, man. This is I'm just excited. I'm pumped up. Kind of sat quiet during most of the stuff, and now I'm just, you guys got me jazzed up. You got me jazzed up, man. And I don't get jazzed up. So toss this back over.
A jazz with Kevin is what.
Yeah, it's dangerous a little bit.
All right, guys. Well, there's a couple of things I just want to point out. First of all, I don't think many of you realize what an awesome thing it is that we have Ken Eggleston here. He is a guy who's done comp plans for multiple companies, works with owners of companies. He's been, you know, a massive owner and all that stuff. But he is, you know, a former law enforcement guy. is very, very stern about his criteria for what is good and what is not. And the fact that he's out here and actually telling you guys this is good is actually kind of a big deal. And I don't know if you caught the fact that he mentioned, and you guys will see this in the event videos when you put them up, which any of you who have a ticket, whether you were at the event or not, doesn't matter. You will still get the access to all of the videos as long as you have the event tickets. You'll get to see, we actually had Kevin Thompson, who I think most of you should know. Who here knows who Kevin Thompson is? There you go. All right. So a ton of people know it. He's probably the best known attorney in the field. Ashley was at the event. Ashley went to the stage and said very clearly, Infinii is the first company and the only company that he's ever endorsed, that he supports, because he has actually seen the statistics inside. I'm going to tell you guys a very interesting conversation, because I also handle a lot of the legal stuff, or at least used to. Now we're trying to transition out of that, but I used to handle a lot of the legal stuff for DST as well. So the first time we had a meeting with Kevin, it was over the phone, and he was asking me for the statistics of what our members were doing and how much of our customer base was pure customer and all of these things. And so I was giving him the statistics, and I was like, well, our customers make, this many million a month, and our affiliates only do this much. And he was like, no, that's impossible. He got angry with me, okay? I'm serious, and he will tell you the story, hopefully, at the next event or something. But he actually got angry with me. He was like, you are just trying to BS me. That is impossible. Those kind of numbers don't happen in network marketing. And it actually took him, he came to our last event, and he spoke with a ton of people in the audience before he actually realized that our statistics are real. So this event, he was super excited, and he so wants this to succeed, because that's exactly what he said. This is the benchmark for what is real. This is a benchmark for something that's actually helping the users. It's something that's working for the average, ordinary person out there. It's incredible. And I've said this before. I've had some very difficult challenges recently in life with my son's health, especially, and the last 2 days have been very discouraging in that regard, actually. And one of the things that helps me get through it is really our members. It's all of you guys. It really is tremendous. I don't talk about it publicly a whole lot. I don't really care to, but I meet people at these events where I'm like, yeah, this is worth it. It's worth doing this. And I'm not going to go into all the sloppy stories necessarily, because I think a lot of that you need to internalize and just appreciate. I think talking about it too much just kind of cheapens it. So I won't talk about it too much. But when Kevin was saying, I actually do say this is actually very, very true, that we get all these messages of you have changed our life, and I have a hard time, because I feel like our lives have been impacted a lot more through this than we have impacted your lives. And I think it might be the scale of what we get to see. It might be the fact that we get to see a lot of people in incredible situations, overcoming those situations. I don't know exactly how to really phrase it, but it has been the most gratifying and fulfilling thing to do this. And we are just looking forward to making this the biggest thing out there. And it's the pure motivation in that is not just, oh, look at how much money that will generate, but it's also look at the concept, look at what we can actually put out there, look at what our members have done and what they will do and what this will become over the next year and 5 years and a decade and so on and so forth. I mean, there are so many pieces of Infinii that, guys, we're not touching yet, that we haven't even mentioned yet. And we don't need to yet, because we have a clear pathway on what we need to do right now. But I'm very excited about where we're headed and what we're going to accomplish over the next few days. So anyways, that is that. I think everybody gets it. Here's what you should be doing. And by the way, all the people asking about the next event, we don't have a fixed time for the next event yet. We will let you guys know when we have one. Every event there is so much stress, and we are always like, oh man, we shouldn't do this event. Then the event happens, and we meet all of our members there, and it's like we need to do an event every day almost. It's kind of nuts. But we let you guys know when we decide on that. Here is what I want to just hammer home before getting too emotional. I kind of need to get going. Everybody else needs to get going too. So here are the action steps for you guys. First of all, if you haven't yet, really take a look at the Shopify training course. Pay attention to it. try and see if that fits into your business model at all. My personal read on that, my personal recommendation is the Shopify part of that is okay. I mean, it's great if you're doing Shopify, but the real core part of that is the strategy and the traffic system. That's the part you really want to master. You can use that with Bonanza. You can use that with your current stores. You can use that with your own websites. Whatever you want to do with it, you can. But that is the core part that you really want to pay attention to. We'll be sending out a video for it so you guys can actually see what's inside it and understand how it works. And hopefully you can make a valid, thought out decision on it. Get ready, start thinking who is going to be my core team, who are the people I'm going to work with as we roll out Infinii, who are the people that I'm going to invite, and who are the people I'm going to work with. Try and make sure that you're only keeping that to your immediate downline DSD or to non-DSD members. You can invite anybody who is not in DSD already, that's perfectly fine. You can also invite somebody who is in DSD, but they should be only on your level 1. Okay, make sure that you do that. And just start thinking, start evaluating, start setting up some goals. And we're going to do another training. There's a training that Ken Eggleston did from the stage after the event, which was about trying to set goals, about how do you set goals. It's a mathematical thing that you fill out and you decide what your goal set should be going forward and how you're going to accomplish that. So we'll do that at some point with you as well. All in all, we are just all absolutely excited about where we're headed. I can tell all of you are very excited about where we're headed based on what I'm seeing in the chat. And we just really look forward to seeing all of your success grow 1,000-fold over. So that's a good night and exciting good night from my side. And guys, if you want to say your good nights, we can let everybody go to bed. But I don't think most of these guys will be sleeping, but as is a courtesy.
I'll tell you what, I'll see you guys in your email inbox. We're going to get this recording up and edit it a little bit and then out to you guys ASAP. There'll be a link in your back office. That Shopify course too, it's going to change a little bit to where you're going to see more on what's in there in the form of a video breaking it down. It's pretty impressive. So just keep an eye on that too and try to get some sleep tonight, I guess. I guess I would say that. I don't know if I'll be able to. This is crazy. So good night, everybody.
Thank you.